Hello everybody and welcome to the Tardis Zone Talks on this Friday evening. We will be talking about the latest rumours that were dropped on Eddie Oscaro's channel. But I'd just like to say, firstly, before we start, that I want to make a few things clear here. There seems to be a few J-bots on Twitter and on Facebook, basically saying that all of this news coming out is to create drama and all of this. Now, anybody that's been following this channel and actually watches my videos will see that not only have I reported on the news that I've personally received, I've reported on Eddie's news, I've reported on Gary's news, and I've reported on Matrix Lord's news. I've even reported on news from Reddit and other locations as well, other social media platforms. Nobody is saying that any of these rumors are 100% fact. We have put a disclaimer up and we have said it's rumor and speculation. So for people out there to accuse people of lying is disingenuous, to say the least, when they have said that it's rumor and speculation. And just because, you know, there's some people out there that just won't just have a problem with people talking about this sort of thing, I think you really need to chill and understand that this has been a thing that's been going on in the fandom for a very, very long time. Fans do relish listening to rumor and speculation. It's been a thing that's always happened. There's been leaks as well, as you know, over the years. So this is a common occurrence. This is a thing that's happened in fandom for a very long time. But all of a sudden, there seems to be this rhetoric that anybody that's coming out, or if you're coming out with information that doesn't suit the narrative, you're being called a liar. At the end of the day, right, we cover a lot of topics on this channel, but when it comes to Doctor Who news, we try now, after last year, where I was, you know, I had tunnel vision. This year I decided when I got the news, I was going to be far more balanced and I would talk about other people's news. I have talked about Gary from Neurotics news. I have spoke about Matrix Lord's news. I have spoke about Eddie Oscaro's news, and I've also spoke about the news that I've put out there. It doesn't mean that these people are lying. This is information that people are receiving, okay? So, and they have said it's rumor and speculation. I think a lot of people need to actually take a chill pill. It's rumor and speculation. If there are people out there that are saying they're 100% that Jodie Whittaker is going or staying, they're lying. It doesn't matter what the newspapers say. It doesn't matter what Jodie Whittaker says herself. Until BBC announce something officially, when the Christmas special, is she regenerating, is she not? You know, because when these rumors start piling up, the BBC usually do release a statement. So until BBC actually announce something officially, you take every bit of rumor out there that's going around, every bit of facts that you've been given as rumor and speculation. It doesn't mean people are lying. And I hate this whole lying that's going on Twitter and Facebook. People are saying that people are lying because maybe their information doesn't tie in with theirs. It doesn't matter. Nobody knows. And I've been saying this, and I'm sorry, I'm going to keep saying it. Nobody knows. I don't care what the newspapers say. Do you mean to tell me that you're going to listen to newspapers? Well, if that's the case, then Radio Times Hugh Fullerton said that the future of the series could be possibly animated. He also came out with the statement to say that Doctor Who was going into production soon. Then the Daily Mirror and other newspapers actually came out and said the opposite. So again, as I said, there's a lot of disinformation out there. Conflicting information out there. So nobody knows. Nobody knows. I wish everybody would just relax, calm down, and wait until Comic-Con, see what happens with that first, and then wait until BBC come out and let us know if they're airing, if Series 13 is going to go into production or not go into production, or if there's going to be a delay or not a delay, whether Jodie Whittaker's regenerating Christmas special or not regenerating Christmas special. As I said, nobody knows. So with that, obviously, if you were watching Eddie of Scarrow's channel, Talk the Doctor, like I all told you to do, you will have seen that he announced, and he did say it's rumor and speculation. He also did say that this is from sources within ITV and BBC. Go and check out his full video. I would rather people go and check out his full video before commenting on anything, to be quite honest with you, and check it out. He said it's rumor and speculation, but apparently Gillian Anderson is in mind to replace Jodie Whittaker. Now, some people have, because this is a rumor that was brought up before, it has to be lawyers now. And that logic just doesn't wash with me. That's stupid logic to have, right? The reason why she's probably being brought up again, because she was rumored in the first place, and maybe she is a genuine choice. Now, according to Eddie, though, on his video, again, rumor speculation, Chris Chibnall is the one that's pushing this. So I want to ask is, if Gillian Anderson was to replace Jodie Whittaker, how would you feel about that? Again, it's rumor and speculation, and we're only theorizing here on this channel, okay? Or do you think that she will stay for Christmas? She will stay over the Christmas period. She will then do Series 13, but then she's off. Or do you think she'll continue after Series 13? I'm asking a lot of questions here tonight because I want to cover a lot. Ted, just hang on. You'll have to close the sitting room door. I'm afraid you'll go into that bedroom and start moving stuff up. Sorry about that, folks. So, yeah, again, you know, here's my 2 cents on Eddie of Scarrow's news, right? And this is to show that I'm not believing anybody over anybody or this, that, and the other, right? As some people on Twitter and Facebook have suggested, right? I don't think Gillian Anderson's going to be the next Doctor to replace Jodie Whittaker, if I'm honest. Yeah, I actually think if she has been approached, it would be for a villain role rather than playing the Doctor, right? That's my 2 cents on it. That's what I think. But this is what rumors is all about. We can all speculate. So that's what I speculate. So let's see what everybody else speculates. Right? That's what it's all about. Nobody is saying, and nobody has. Watch me videos, right? Watch Eddie's videos. Watch Gary's videos. Watch Matrix Lord's videos. Everybody says it's rumor and speculation. Right? So with that, I'm about to put the link in. So if you'd like to come on, I'm going to give you all 10 minutes. I'm going to time it on my phone. Right, because I think it's only fair that we do it that way so we can get as many people as we can on to talk about this. And I would really like to hear your opinions, because it is an interesting one. As I said, me personally speaking, I think she'll play a villain if she has been approached. That's if Series 13 even goes ahead. Dublin, and I know Dublin's not part of the UK, but Dublin, we've gone in now from 12 midnight tonight. We're back in lockdown for 3 weeks because The cases have surged here. So, yeah. So, I mean, look, it's unpredictable. So I'd wait until, as I've been saying from the beginning, I would actually wait until BBC. But, you know, as I said, go and check out everybody's channel that does cover this sort of news. As I said, I'm putting the news out as I receive it. If someone says something different, I will put it out there, and I have. So I don't know where this is all coming from. People really need to relax and wait. So here it is. There's the link in the chat. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a few shout outs while I wait for a few guests to pop on. If you want to add your 2 cents to the conversation, please join in. So we've got Daniel in the chat. We've got the real super doctor. Welcome, super doctor. I love that, actually. Disaster area. We've got Charlotte. Welcome. We've got Leland. We've got Retro Dicky. Welcome. We've got Matt Jones, and we've got loads of people jumping in already. We've got Crystal. We've got Sadako24. Welcome. We've got John Michael Fink. Welcome. We've got John here as well. Welcome. Will is here. Welcome, Will. David is also here. Hey, David. Nice to see you in the chat, pal. Who else have we got? And I think that's everybody. So if you want to join in, I will be throwing the link in every couple of minutes. I'm gonna get me countdown clock ready. I have to be strict on this tonight, because I did let obviously one of me guests go over time for over an hour, and it wasn't fair, even though it was the main man himself. I have to be fair with everybody to give everybody airtime. We got Peter D. We've also got Chris. Chris is in the chat as well. Welcome, Chris. Rossi G12 also in the chat. Nice to see us. I have put the link in the chat. Again, if you want to join in, we are talking the latest rumors. And also, I want to ask you guys, why do you think all of a sudden there seems to be this, when people like myself are doing source news, there seems to be this automatic belief that, you know, you're a liar, you're spreading lies, even though we've left obviously disclaimers to say that it's 100% rumor and speculation. I mean, that's another thing that I find surprising. This has been literally going on for decades in this fandom, this kind of thing, and all of a sudden it seems to be a bad thing. And I want to ask you, why do you think this kind of news? I have my theory. My theory has got to do with the fact that obviously the casting that we have now, and I think people have a problem if you come out against that. So there we go. The link has gone in the chat again. So if you want to join in, come on for about 10 minutes. I see Near the Holic is there. The Thing King has also dropped in. If Sean, if you want to pop on, lads, we haven't heard from you in a while. If you want to come on, just queue yourself up. Right, we're going to start bringing I'm going to bring our first caller on, or our first streamer. And I'm going to get the countdown clock ready. As I said, I'm going to stick. I'm going to be strict on this now, because I want to get as many people as we can. So I know I've asked you a lot, so if you can just, you know, do use our best with, or whatever one you want to tackle specifically, go ahead. I'm still, you know what, I've had this phone about 2 years or something, and I don't know where to stop. Is it under clock? Would it be under? Yeah. Okay. Right, stopwatch. Right. Or should I just put timer?
Do a timer.
Timer.
That way you can tell me how many minutes I have left.
Right.
Like give me a 2-minute warning.
Right, I'll give you a 2-minute warning. So when we're on 8 minutes, so try breathe as you are talking. Little gaps so I can get in there and let you know. Because I don't want to cut you off mid-sentence just in case you want to make a very important point. Right, let's bring on our first guest. And we do have her on the panels doing Classic Who. And Classic Who does come back, by the way, folks, in 2 weeks' time. And it's Charlotte. So I'd like to welcome Charlotte.
Hello.
How are you? How are you doing?
Good. So where should we start? Like I said, a lot to go over.
Yeah, well, you can start where you want to, and as soon as you start opening your mouth, as they say, I'm going to set the timer.
Okay, and then I'll start with just Julian Anderson, as a cast just on her own. I think she would be the right acclaim actress. I think she'd be a good name to bring people back to the show.
Yeah.
She is got a lot of American recognition, so I think that would be clever for America, like Eddie pointed out. I do think that would be a real good marketing thing for them. And I do think if they wanted to do female Doctor, they should have gone with somebody of her sort of clout to convince people who were a bit nervous. I think going with such an unknown name like Jodie Whittaker wasn't clever in the long run. They needed a sort of name that you can go, well, I've seen them in lots of other things to quell your nerves.
By the way, I will say something because someone will mention this because I do have a few J-bots watching. Hello, Emma. You'll probably tell her all the lies about me now, but hello. But anyway, when you say that she's not a popular actor, I must stress what Charlotte actually means. She means internationally. She was only known pretty much in the UK.
Yeah, Julian Anderson is an international name.
Whereas Gillian Anderson has that international recognition. She's known across both sides of the pond because of a little show called, obviously, The X-Files.
Yeah, but I agree with what a lot of people were saying. If Chibnall is writing her, then she's going to have a massive disadvantage because, and this is what I was thinking because I listened to Eddie's stream and watched your video, and it seems to be obviously ifs and buts because it's rumor, but if they go with her, it sounds like it's going to be a one and done sort of thing of one series or specials. Is that what it sounds like?
Yeah. And this was also the rumor last year that they were thinking of bringing in a younger Doctor for just say a set of special and stuff like that. So it seems to be the same kind of thing. But if he has gone with Gillian Anderson, all I will say is this: compared to Jodie Whittaker, she's the caliber of actress that should have been gotten in the first place. 100% agree with that. But
here's my worry.
She will be hindered if Chris Chibnall's still there, though. So does it really make a difference, I suppose?
Here's my worry more, and that's time. Basically, if they do a one and done type of deal, that means this Doctor has to basically hit the ground running, has to very quickly develop a personality, has to be very quickly to become their own Doctor, and he struggled to do that for 2 series with Whittaker.
Yeah.
So he struggled to develop a Doctor for 2 series, and now he's going to try and possibly, if this happens, do that in 1 series.
Yeah, it doesn't. Listen, I agree with you. I agree with a lot of people that are saying this, that if she was to be cast, she's still going to be she's going to be hindered by the fact that he's there.
And like I said, the fact that it's specials.
Yeah, the specials I don't mind because he did it with David Tennant, so we seen that it can work. You know, would I ideally want that? Not really. To be quite honest, I'd rather them just fix the bloody show, get it right, so we can actually start watching good Doctor Who again. But at this point, we don't. This is just look. I told you I gave me 2 cents on it. I actually think more than likely if she was to be cast, it's as a villain.
I think that would be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Or like I think somebody said maybe she could be another Doctor. Maybe that's what's happening, and it's not. She's going to be the 14th. She could possibly be
like Joe Martin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's something that could be happening because I think I think they need a stable doctor after Jodie. They need a doctor that can build the fan base back, that can rebuild faith in this show. And I think that means you need somebody who can do 2 series at least.
Yeah.
So then they can really get involved with the fandom, they can really establish themselves.
Yeah.
And I think having a shock sort of possible doctor for like a series, I think that would maybe not be the cleverest thing, because let's say we just get used to this doctor. Oh no, and now they're gone. Now it's another one.
There was a rumor during Series 11 that Jodie's regeneration, Peter Capaldi's regeneration into Jodie somehow went wrong. And that's why the Tardis threw her out. Now, a lot of people kind of know this rumor. But adding on to that, I remember being told and actually being talked about was the fact that what if the Tardis threw Jodie out because the regeneration did go wrong? And what happened if Jodie Whittaker's doctor actually split into different realities and she has to put herself back together again? We've already gotten Joe Martin's doctor, but nobody knows where she fits in. But yet Chris Chibnall says she's part of this universe. So if Jodie Whittaker's doctor was somehow splintered into different versions of the doctor, say, I know that's a bit cruel the way of putting it. I think you know where I'm going with this. Maybe Gillian Anderson is another part of that jigsaw piece to make the doctor whole again, if you get me.
Yeah, and that would make sense that if they couldn't have her for a long time.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, when I heard it, I was like, it makes sense in regards to Chibnall evidently doesn't want to cast males. You get that vibe. So it makes sense that he would cast another female. It would make sense that they maybe would go for a big name because of how bad the show is right now, just to get actual eyes back on it.
Yeah.
But like I said, I think I would rather that Jodie does Series 13 and her and Chibnall walk away into the sunset after Series 13. Because here's the other thing. This hints, if this is true, that Chibnall's writing the 60th, and the pit in my stomach when I thought of that.
He cannot write the 60th. He cannot be allowed to write the 60th.
No, but if he's if this is true, Noel, and he's casting another doctor, that means he's writing the 60th. Think about it.
I know. I just don't want to think about it. I know.
And the pit in my stomach, like I said, I after I was thinking it through, I was like, that means he could still be showrunner by that time, and I'm like, I don't want him touching it.
Well, remember, as we said, the rumors do stipulate that both of them are going after Series 13. But again, as I've been saying from the start, nobody really knows. We got 2-minute warning there, Charlotte. So is there anything else you want to highlight before I bring on our next guest?
It's not Who related, but I do find it funny with the whole Gina Carano thing right now that certain people like to shout that they're all for female power and female this, and suddenly when a female says something that they don't like, they all call her everything underneath the sun and try and get her off a show, which I think shows actually what they care about, and it's nothing to do with women's rights and getting more representation.
I agree. It's ridiculous what that woman's been going through for the last few months, and it was great to see that she was actually in the trailer for season 2, but there was meltdown obviously from the so-called people that are all for empowering women. But look, we've been, Charlotte, we all here that are listening are all very clever people. We've been saying this for how long? And that they're only it's nothing to do with empowering women. It never has been, and it never will be. They've got a different agenda, and if someone steps out of line as they consider Gina did, which she didn't, then they go after them like a pack of wolves.
Yeah, and we saw it with obviously our good friend Starry, and it's like they only want women who spout certain viewpoints, which I just find hilarious.
I know. How is that helping women?
It's not, and it's just so funny for me because it's like you're just showing your true colours, aren't you? People
Exactly.
who hound and do things.
They're idiots. But listen, we've got 13 seconds, so I'll tell you what I'll do. You can give your shout outs there, let everybody know where they can find you, whose channels you're going to be appearing on if there's any. Of course, obviously we don't have to watch alongs this weekend, but I might do something on Saturday that we can all get involved in, and we'll see. I haven't actually sat down to think about it yet, but I'll figure something out. So if I do, I'll give you a shout anyway, Charlotte, and I'll have you on tomorrow if we're doing something special. But I'll let you know tomorrow because I haven't got a clue, man. You know me. I wing these things sometimes. But go ahead, give your shout outs, and thanks for coming on. Really appreciate it. Actually, good first best way to start the night with Charlotte, isn't that right? Everybody, great way. Go ahead, Charlotte.
Well, I will probably be on Daniel's channel next because me and him are going to do a review of Beware's audios, and hopefully that's going to be a series. So that's going to be where you'll probably hear me next. And I might pop up on David Travels Through Time. He's been lovely and let me pop on some of his streams, and obviously Noel is lovely and lets me come in his. So see me about and everywhere, really.
Fantastic. Right, hold on. Sorry. That was annoying me. Well, that was fantastic. Listen, Charlotte, been an absolute pleasure having you on first. Great first caller. Well, we can't really say caller, can we? We say first streamer, guest. Great fourth guest. So thank you for coming on. I really appreciate it. And don't forget to check out Daniel's channel as well. Don't forget to check out Charlotte's stuff as well. And yeah, go and check those streams out on Daniel's channel. That'll be good. There's a lot of need for Big Finish, so go and check it out. Daniel be your man. He doesn't bull crap. He's like me. He's out straight. If he doesn't like that, he has no problem with saying it. So
and I don't let him get.
Go ahead, Charlotte. Sorry.
I said I don't let him get away with rubbish, so you'll probably hear us having a bit of a back and forward on streams.
That's brilliant. That's brilliant. Right, listen, Charlotte, thanks for coming on. Really brilliant having you on, and we'll see you again soon.
Yep, thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Right, before we get on our next guest, I see a couple of more people have popped into the chat, so I want to give you a shout out so you don't all feel left out. I'm only messing. I know none of you feel left out. Well, maybe you do, but I'm going to call you out now so you don't feel left out. So we got Matthew Pounder, and we got Ninja Knight. Welcome, Ninja Knight. Everybody was kung fu fighting. Woo! Yeah, love that song. Right, let's bring on our next guest. He's real, he's super, and he's also a doctor. This is absolutely amazing. We've got the real super doctor on this show tonight. Welcome, my friend.
How are you? Not bad.
I'm good, man. I'm good. So, where would you like to start tonight?
Well, it's the rumours about Gillian Anderson could be a possible doctor. I mean, I don't think this is a good idea if it's true. I think it's another box ticking. She's a feminist as well. So I just don't know. I really just don't know. I don't think it's a great idea. I mean, if she's going to go into that part and it's going to be written by Chris Chibnall, I mean, it's going to ruin her career if this goes down. I mean, look at Jodie Whittaker. I mean, look how they've made the character there and how she's played it.
Yeah, another thing as well. Like, I mean, Jodie is producing her own stuff.
Yeah.
So with all these job offers,
mm-hmm.
You know, I do think Chibnall has damaged their career. But Yeah, I didn't know that about Gillian Anderson. That wouldn't matter to me if she kept the politics out of it, but we do
Yeah.
know that Chris Chibnall just can't help himself. But if he was to stay, it's still, even if she was cast, as I said, it's still not going to be great because Chibnall's the man that's, willing to the ship. What would you say?
Well, I would think that the new director general of the BBC. I think if he's doing a complete swipe of television programs and Doctor Who's on his agenda, I think that he's going to look at the program and think maybe he's going to look at the past and seeing what worked in the past and what's not working in now. And the female doctor is just not working. It's just not. The public's tuned into the first episode, and that was about 10 million viewers, and then it dropped and dropped and dropped, and the lack of interest in the program and the merchandise is not selling. You can see it's even going into the classic merchandise and B&M's, because last week I was in B&M's and I saw the shelves were stacked full of Troughton Tardises, Herbie Tardises, and they just don't look like they've moved. And there was Daleks as well there as well.
In fairness, a lot of people do order online. So,
Yeah.
I mean, and they do stack the shelves quite regularly.
Yeah.
I mean, we do know there is a dip in sales. Look, they can say what they want.
Yeah.
Here's the interesting thing, though. And an interesting point that you brought up is why I bring this up, is the fact that BBC actually did recently. Actually, I'm going to show you. Do you know what? I'm just going to actually show you because you will see for yourselves. I'm going to knock the sound off because obviously I can't have the sound on. So I'm going to show this to Super John. So I'm going to pause the stopwatch because I'm showing this to everybody. So that gives Super John another 4 odd minutes left, right? So just wait. I'll get this up. The clock has stopped. So I'm going to show you this video. I want you to look at the video very carefully, right? And tell me the one thing that's missing. Now, don't say that in Super John if you know what I'm talking about, because I want people to figure this out for themselves. Because this is. I knew you were going to do that. Right. Well, I'm done. I got me strike. Yeah.
Maybe you could edit that out.
They hate me.
They're uploading it.
Right, hold on. I'll get it up now. We have it. Right, you're going to love this, right? So, some Jodie Whittaker fans are celebrating the fact that, HBO Max is promoting Whittaker. About bloody time, I say. But they've recently acquired Doctor Who. So it wouldn't be a surprise that they're promoting the current Doctor. Again, it means absolutely nothing. But this might mean something. Or again, this could mean absolutely nothing. But I will put it out there and I'll say to you, so if we go by the logic of some people, that because HBO Max are showing Whittaker, promoting Whittaker, then that means she's staying. Well, then what does this mean? Are you ready for this? What does this mean? Can everybody see it for starters? Super John, can you see that on the screen?
Yes.
Okay. So tell me what this means then, folks. And then tell me what's missing.
Well, obviously it's Doctor Who.
Wait, John!
Oh dear.
Well, I leave the whole video on just to show it's not a conspiracy.
So as you can see there, they've shown Strictly. They've even shown Mrs. Brown's Boys, BBC at the Proms. You know, all of these young offenders, the Antiques Roadshow. You know, there you go, Albert Square. But guess what? As John actually ruined, thanks, John. But
Oh,
John
I'm sorry.
ruined. But yeah, no Doctor Who. So why is that relevant? Well, it's if you go by the logic of some people on Twitter, the J-bots that say, well, they're promoting Whittaker, so she has to be staying. Well, then the BBC themselves put that ad out for the UK consumer to let them know what their TV license gets them, and yet they don't show one of their biggest IPs. Now, if we go by the logic of some, well, then to me, that would mean that there's something seriously wrong, because why not promote your show? It's either you've lost faith in it, or it's because the show's future is up in the air. But again, I will say, does that video really mean anything? I would say not really, because until BBC make any official announcement, it's all rumor and speculation, or it's me theorizing on what I think is happening. See, I just wanted to bring that up to just prove a point to some people that you really need to kind of take a step back, relax, and wait until BBC make it. Because if I was to go by that and go by the logic of some people on Twitter, well, then Jodie Whittaker is leaving and Doctor Who is scrapped. Right? By that logic. Right, Super John, what do you think? You've got 6 minutes left or so or something. Yeah,
Well, I think it's quite obvious that they've lost confidence in the show, and they just want to push it aside. I think they're embarrassed by it because of the reaction from the fans and the reaction from the audience. I mean, dropping to 4 million viewers in series 12. I mean, it just goes to show you people are not interested in it anymore.
I know. It is startling, I have to say, but it does mean absolutely nothing. But
Yeah.
you can't theorise that this doesn't look that good for Doctor Who if even BBC is not willing to show it on what your TV license gets you.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, it is. I mean,
see, I think what they're trying to do.
Again, I will say, in this current era of uncertainty, it probably means nothing. They probably just forgot to stick it in, or it was a genuine little hint of what's to come.
Yeah.
And I tell you, you know, all I would say is nothing is set in stone.
Yeah.
I keep saying that. And I just wish everybody would just relax and remember that just because people are putting out different information out there doesn't make them liars. Doesn't make them liars. That's disingenuous to say that. This is the thing that's gone on in fandom for decades, as I said. But I mean, Super John.
Yeah.
This. I mean, I can't help but go back to that trailer because it is kind of.
Yeah, it's kind of telling. And last year I was in the mobile phone shop EE, and they had this television was displaying. I think it was displaying channels and that, and it kept showing Peter Capaldi. You know Peter Capaldi.
Doctor.
Yeah.
Instead of Whittaker's. Yeah.
Instead of Whittaker's.
Yeah, that happens. Sure, they have a double cover apparently. I don't know because I won't buy Doctor Who magazine.
Yeah.
I won't support any of the bigots that run that. But apparently double cover. But they have Christopher Eccleston or something on the front, and apparently Jodie Whittaker is on the other side of the cover. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I know she's not popular.
She's not popular, exactly.
Yeah.
I don't want to keep harping on about it, but I think that those fans need to realise, sorry, she's not as popular as you think, and just because she won some little Radio Times poll that she's all decided to rig means absolutely nothing. BBC will make the decision that they have to make whenever they need to make that decision. As I said, and I've been saying it for weeks now, Nobody knows what's going on with the future of Doctor Who, let alone Jodie Whittaker's future. It doesn't matter if she came out with past statements that she was staying. There's a global pandemic. Things change all of the time. So nobody knows yet, right? And one of me guests that's coming on in a while is going to tell you that they're actually filming in Wales at the moment, a different production company, War of the Worlds. Why isn't Doctor Who up and running? Ask yourselves that as well. There's a Christmas special or a special to be promoted. Why haven't they promoted that? They haven't been promoting it on this side of the pond. They may have on the other side, but they haven't over here. And this is where their core audience is. So explain that.
You should look at it from the very first.
Here's the thing, and I'll let you jump in there now, Super John. There's probably a logical explanation, but at the end of the day, my point has always been nobody knows until BBC make an official announcement. Go ahead, Super John.
Yeah, you should look at the very first announcement of Jodie Whittaker was the 13th Doc. There was billboards everywhere you went. There was screens when I was up in Glasgow and getting through Barhead and all that. There was screens showing. It was Braehead. There were screens showing Jodie Whittaker as the 13th Doctor, and it's about time and all that. And there's no advertisement for series 12, and now series 13 is going to get the same treatment.
And the fans keep asking, why isn't she being promoted? We keep telling you why, but you won't listen because you think, because we don't like this era, that we're not being honest with you.
Yeah.
We are.
And it's just not only...
failing. You won't listen to us. You criticise us, so it's going to continue to fail.
Yeah.
Until you listen. Chris Chibnall has screwed Jodie Whittaker over.
Yeah, he has.
Now, I will add, she hasn't helped herself, but I will say this. If she had been given the tools and told to do the research, and she actually did do all of those things, and even after all of that, she still had it in over her head, I can guarantee you this 100%. I wouldn't be coming down hard on Jodie Whittaker at all if she didn't make any of those stupid statements or any of that. I wouldn't. Because it's not her fault. It's not entirely her fault. She has made mistakes, and she's made plenty of them. Simple as that.
And it's like the chaos in Cardiff. I could believe that happened because I believe that none of them were happy about it. I mean, you can see it in their performances. They're clueless, they're bored, they're confused, and they're just going along with it for the money, and that's just it.
There's still people saying, Bradley Walsh may announce that he's leaving, right? He's already said he's leaving, right? It came out of the horse's mouth himself, and then Ted, stop for a minute. Come on. Right? And he's already moved on because there's other shows in the pipeline. His own personal, his agent actually put out what he's doing. He's leaving Doctor Who. Tolson Cole is doing some cop show on the other side of the pond. We know he's gone, right? But here's the thing, right? We know those two are gone. We knew Manip was staying for Series 14 with Jodie Whittaker, but because of this bear bug, everything is up in the air. You cannot come out and say, because the paper said a few months ago or up to a few weeks ago, some journalist claims that the show is going into production while all the other national newspapers are saying that's not the case, right? Same clown that actually criticizes Doctor Who on a regular basis and actually turned around and said that the future of the series could be animated, right? That's the source that everybody is quoting, that Doctor Who, Hugh Fullerton from the Radio Times. I wouldn't listen to him as far as I throw a tennis ball, right? That man is so unreliable, it's unbelievable. And just because he writes for the Radio Times doesn't mean he's privy to exclusives. There are some YouTubers out there have said that Chibnall is so guarded. He's even stopped Doctor Who from getting exclusives. So why would Radio Times get exclusives over Doctor Who magazine? It's all ridiculous. I think what's happened here is there's a few people butthurt. And they just need to get over themselves. As I said, we will wait and see until there's an official announcement. But whatever news is put out there, I will cover everybody's news. Whether it's my own, whether it's Eddie's, Matrix Lords, Gary's, or any other YouTuber out there, or any Reddit post or thread that I find, or anything on that I receive from people, and if I think that it's worth talking about, I will put it out there because that's what we've always done. John, before you go, because I know you have your channel is up and running, and how's it going, anyway, pal, on the channel? How's the numbers? Your subscribers?
There's a couple more subscribed to the channel, but not very much because I haven't done very much on it now, and it's just just on Twitter, just posting stuff on Twitter. No.
Yeah. Well, listen, get on and subscribe to Super John's channel, will you? Give him a bit of support, and maybe then he might have because that's what happens. You do get a little bit disheartened, you know.
Yeah.
A bit of effort into a video, and that was happening to me at the start. But listen, it will get better. But please subscribe to him if you haven't. He has some great little videos up on his channel. But where else can they find you, Super John and Real Super Doctor?
Real Super Doctor. I just changed the name. I thought I would just change the name because Super John just felt a bit kind of boring.
No, I think that's brilliant. That Real Super Doctor, I like that.
Yeah.
I really do. I like it. So you should stick with that. RSD.
Right. I'm on Twitter and I'm on Parler.
Lovely. Oh, you're on Parler as well. So you can be on Twitter and Parler, and don't forget to check out his channel. And I'm sure Chris or one of the other mods has already thrown it up there. Please do subscribe. All your help is welcome. Real Super Doctor, it's been a pleasure having you on.
No worries. No worries.
All the way now to Scarrow now for my next guest. So he's travelled all the way from Scarrow, so I have to bring him on. But it's been nice having you on. A real pleasure, pal. Thank you.
No bother.
See you
right,
soon.
thank you.
See you later, man.
See you later.
And just before I do get on my next guest, I have to refresh because my chat actually went, it stopped dead because BBC, they hate me. Yeah. Right. So we'll be. And we had Real Super John hosting there for me for a second. Right, John, I'll see you later, pal.
Right, I'll see you later.
Yeah, see you later, pal. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, let's bring on our next guest. As I said, he's come all the way from Scarrow and put his roots down in Scotland. It's the one and only, the international legend or international treasure, as Cheryl calls him, Scottish Davros.
No, how are you?
I'm good, my friend. I am good. Right, I know you will have a lot to say, so as soon as you start opening that mouth, I'm going to hit the buzzer, and I'm not even going to talk because I know you will have loads to say. So whenever you're ready, pal, you knock it out of the park there.
As always, I'll just start off by saying that you take everything you hear from all the sources yourself, Gary from Erotics, and Eddie Ascaro and Matrix worth with a pinch of salt. But in terms of the whole Gillian Anderson situation, I don't think that it'll have much effect in terms of improving the show, because, like, to be honest, is tricky. I think the BBC will still I'll still I'll still keep a penal for at least part of the season anyway. And like, to be honest with you, I'm a fan of what Gillian Anderson's done in the past, but at the same time though, like, she's not going to benefit though because it's under Chris Chibnall's Stuart stewardship, so she won't really benefit because of the type of scripts, and
Yeah.
I think as well it shows that the BBC and the dire straits as well. They're like if this rumour actually comes to a pass, that like I think it's desperation because it's a last ditch attempt. It's like a last throw of the ice, and they're hoping with an actress of the calibre of Gillian Anderson that'll be enough to save them because she's got a recognisable name and she's had a legendary career, but I'm sorry that's not going to cut it. But in terms of my personal thoughts, I think she'll come back as maybe the Rani Annie, because we've not seen the Rani we've not seen the Rani yet, and obviously they revived him to Doctor Who, so maybe like the bring back the Annie, because I don't think that she'll be the actual Doctor. I think she's coming back to Bill Villain.
Yeah, that would be my guess. If I was to put me thinking cap on and be logical about this, I would actually say that it'd be more than likely that if she was cast in any capacity, it would be a villainous role rather than the actual Doctor itself. Again, as Eddie has said on his channel, it's only rumor and speculation. So I mean, I keep saying it, but people need to remember that this is a thing that's gone on in fandom a very long time. People don't do it out of malice. People are receiving information, whether you believe it or not. I don't care. People are saying they're receiving information. Then YouTubers out there then pick up on it. Twitter accounts pick up on it. Facebook accounts pick up on it, and we all talk about it as fans.
Yeah.
And I start getting into this, as I said, when Jodie Whittaker was cast, I then became very active on YouTube. And I started, as I said, talking to certain people. And I got to know certain people, as you do, when you get to, when you're on social media, because social media opens up a whole wider world for you. So you get to talk to people that you wouldn't necessarily talk to in real life. So, yeah, I mean, look, I just don't know. To me, what it is, Daniel, I said this. I think the reason why there's such disdain for news like this now that's put out there is because of the simple fact it's Jodie Whittaker that's the Doctor. I don't think this would be happening with such ferocity if it was a man in the role. I don't think they would give a crap about rumour and speculation, but because Jodie's in the role and we're talking about, some have speculated that she might regenerate Christmas. Also, they've said it's rumor and speculation. I'll put that out there. Some have actually reported that she's staying. She's regenerating at the end of series 13. Other YouTubers have said no, she's actually staying till series 14, 15. Right? Then we have people saying that it's going into production. Then we have other people saying it's not going into production. So as I have said all along, until there's official statements made by BBC, because there's a lot of conflicting information out there, you take it all as rumor, speculation. Simple.
And see, to be honest with you, sorry for cutting you off,
No, go on.
because I know you're the host here. But like, to be honest, if you to be honest with you, BBC are actually going to have to make some sort of an announcement pretty soon, because making a rod for a rod for their own back, and they're digging their own grave here, so they've got to start making some sort of an announcement, because in regards to the show, because like the longer this keeps dragging and dragging, and the it's going to keep damaging the show.
I agree.
So
Any sort of announcement now, Daniel, would be great. Even if it's a statement to say that he is actually staying and she's not going, it's at least then we'd all know. You know what I mean? And then it stop all the bull crap that's going on. But go on anyway.
So my appeal to the BBC, come on, stop pissing about and actually give us stop pissing about and actually give us an announcement, so that we can at least so that we can at least find out what's happening, because it's not really good for all the people that has sources for the stress levels either, because your guys' stress levels must be going through the roof, and it's not right either. So it's time that BBC actually told us what the hell is happening, and because I know the damage has already been inflicted on this historic idea. Enough's enough. Time to actually lose or in the pill. And as BBC.
Yeah, sorry, I just seen someone pop into the studio there. We've got a couple of more people there. You've got 2 minutes anyway, Daniel. Is there anything else you would like to add to all of that? I mean, I do think if she was to be cast, even as the Doctor or villain, it's not going to be great if Chris Chibnall is at the helm anyway.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, and like, to be honest with I would much, my preference, I would actually prefer a male Doctor, right? But any sort of casting is going to be hindered under Chris Chibnall anyway. So Chris Chibnall and Pierce Engel both have to go in order for this show to have any chance of survival, because if not cancellation or yet again, I'm sorry to say.
Yeah, I look, an announcement now would actually, put an end to all of the nonsense, and then we'd have a clearer picture where we are, where Jodie Whittaker stands, where the show stands, whether it's even going to air, what's the story with the social distancing. There's so many questions that need to be answered, but we're about to run out of time. So what I'll do with you as well, like I've done with Super John, if there's any shout outs, we've got a couple of more guests now. If there's anybody actually, because I see there's a couple of new people that have hopped in, which is great. If there's anybody that actually would like to talk about why they think the rumors are all rubbish, by all means, come on. I'm not stopping anybody coming on here when I put the link in the chat. Whoever comes on can come on. Once you keep it civil, then I have no problem with that whatsoever. But if you don't think that any of these rumors, or you think all the rumors are unfounded, please do come on and tell us why you think they are. But Daniel, go ahead before we bring on our next guest. Remember, everybody gets 10 minutes each. So if you are waiting in the studio, don't worry, we will get around to you all. Please hang on, don't leave, because this only works if you guys stay. So Daniel, knock yourself out. Let everybody know where they can find you, what you're doing on your channel, and your social media and all of that.
Okay, so in terms of upcoming streams, and first of all, I'm gonna be doing a stream with obviously Bill on it. We're gonna do a Sarah Jane Adventures um a appreciation stream, so it kicks off round about 7 p.m. UK time. It's for 2 hours on it's for 2 hours on Monday night, so it'll be good to actually finally get Bill Born on, and then after that I'll arrange a couple of streams with Charlotte, obviously, as you've seen, because I think that we'll only review that new audio, and I think as well at some point down the line I will actually also review some funny together, and the Time Lord Victorious animation on YouTube. But in terms of my other social medias, you can join my Facebook group and Daniel's YouTube hub. It's for to let everybody know about the upcoming streams, or if you've got a channel yourself, or if you've got a channel yourself, promote the crap out the streams and that get up. And as well, you can follow me on Twitter at the Celtic Daniel 22 as well, and you can join in the discussion over there. But thanks for having me on. Oh, it's been a pleasure as always, and I'll continue to support the channel in any way possible.
Thanks very much, Daniel. I really appreciate that. I mean, you always publicly back me and support me, and it does really mean a lot. And with that said, I would like everybody also in the chat, if you're new to the chat, and I do see a few new names, if you are into Big Finish and you want to listen to a Scotsman talk about Big Finish, Daniel is your man, and he'll have plenty of guests on as well. So please do check him out. His knowledge of Doctor Who is absolutely fantastic, and his streams are not to be missed, to be honest. So Daniel, listen, pal, it's always a pleasure having you on. I will see you again soon. You enjoy our weekend, and I'll talk to you very soon, pal. Go on.
Yeah, catch up.
See you later, pal. Right, we're going to bring on our next guest. He has a huge problem. Yeah, and he's also a human being. So let's see what problem being has a problem with this week.
Less of the human, thank you.
No problem, robot.
I'll leave that to the other side.
Right, listen, before you go off on one, because we know you like to kind of, go into detail and all and stuff, which is great normally, but this isn't for each guest.
I know.
Platform. So,
well, shut up then. I've got 10 minutes.
Yeah. Well, you haven't started the timer, so you're okay. You're okay. So, as soon as you open your mouth about the topics that we brought up, I will start the stopwatch. So, where would you like to start, Lee?
I'd just like to say I think there's some brilliant points raised by Charlotte and John and Daniel there, and I totally agree with Charlotte about the Gina Carano thing. I think that's as I've said before, I don't ever want to hear these people talk about misogyny ever again, because, you know, hypocrites. But anyway, yeah, I just really think that if I'm listening to the rumor correctly, it's like they're floating the idea that, you know, Gillian Anderson would be suited. I don't think there's a chance in hell that she will ever take on that role.
Yeah.
I think her agent would be fired immediately for putting her forward for it. I think Chibnall's is out of his depth trying to get someone of her caliber, her acting chops, and it's too late. It's too late. Listen, it's like after rolling a knackered old horse turned into a pot of glue down the furlong, and then the race is over, and then going, look, we got Shergar. You know?
Yeah.
It's like too late. The race is lost. You lost, Chibs. You lost. And you know, it just seems to me that if you failed, the first female Doctor known as Jodie Whittaker, then why on earth would you repeat the same mistake? And it is a mistake.
The same showrunner. I mean, if you're going to do it again, at least get rid of the man that we all believe put the show in the situation that it's in. At least replace him.
Yeah, I mean, he's like the monkey, not the monkey grinder, you know, the organ grinder, monkey grinder. But he's leaving him in charge to cast another Doctor. I don't think this man is very good at casting anything, quite frankly. I mean, I think he was lucky to get what he did for Broadchurch, and not that I ever watched it. But no, I just think it's highly unlikely. I think she would be unlikely to accept the role. I think it is now a poison chalice. I think most people will be sort of about, especially another woman, straight on the back of that one. Nah, I really don't think so. I think the BBC would be utterly stupid to try the same formula again with the same man in charge. I think it's to me inconceivable. Listen, I love Gillian Anderson as an actor. I think she's great. She was great in.
Would this work? If Gillian Anderson was cast as, and I have to ask you this question: if Gillian Anderson was cast as the next Doctor, and Chris Chibnall wasn't involved, do you think it's still too late? Do you think that it could work? What do you think on that?
I'm torn, really. If anything that this era has shown me, and I was open enough to the idea of a woman playing the Doctor, this cemented in my head that no, the energy is completely wrong. The Doctor is a male character. There is nothing wrong with that. Okay, I have to make that absolutely clear. There is nothing wrong with a character remaining fundamentally a male role. Sorry if that upsets the wrong people or the right people in their minds. It's how I feel about it. And I think a lot of people agree with me that the Doctor is fundamentally a male role. And I think just by kowtowing to this modern age craze of kowtowing to the crazy people with their agendas and their stomping of the feet and going, you will listen to me because I am on the right side of history kind of thing is gotten old very quickly. People don't like tantrums. They don't like people getting their way by threat and by coercion. And I think the viewing figures speak for themselves. You know, I mean, it's suicidal. Listen, Gillian Anderson is a great actor. She was brilliant in American Gods.
Yeah, she's also in that one. What's the one that she's in lately?
The thing on Netflix. Yeah, she's got The Crown coming out as well on Netflix. Listen, I don't think the BBC can afford her, quite honestly. I think she would be taking a massive.
I disagree with that because someone did bring that up, but you're all forgetting that they recently signed deals with HBO Max and the deal in China that is bringing in a cash flow.
But they want to be able to market a show that gets an audience. If you're not going to have an audience, and I don't think Gillian Anderson is a big enough pool.
But that's the thing. They're not even doing any marketing or promoting of it. That's the thing. So where's the money going? Where's the money?
Well, exactly. I'd love to see the details. I've never seen the written
Sitting
details.
there, or they're paying each other big wages. I don't know.
Do you think she's going to give up her cozy house in London to go and live in Cardiff and get paid? No, I don't think Jodie Whittaker or Peter Capaldi were paid lots and lots of money from this deal. You know, no, I don't believe that at all. You know, I think that you know, it's a massive pay cut. I don't think that they're going to be able to afford it. I think, especially with the current situation with the Coof, is that, you know, everything is going to cost twice as much for half as much. So I really think that it's pie in the sky to expect someone of her caliber to take on this role, especially with someone so inept. I mean, it's Chibnall has written himself into a corner. It's a creative cul-de-sac. He has created a poison chalice. And I think that the BBC will be absolutely suicidal if they go with another woman straight off after this one. I think you need to give that a rest, maybe come back to that at a later date. I personally don't think so. I think it should be a man. I don't care which man. I don't care what colour the man is, as long as he's British. I think that that's how it should go, really. Yeah. I think you should go back to a formula that is known to work and is easily marketable. And that attracts most of the audience, you know.
Well, what would you say to the people that say, well, the formula clearly wasn't working anymore, that's why they cast Jodie Whittaker?
That's bullshit. That's bullshit. I mean, listen.
You've got 3 minutes.
After the 50th, I think it was always going to be an uphill battle, because I think most of the casual audience were kind of tuned out after the hype of that. And then it kind of like, well, there's no big sort of landmark nearby. I mean, we've got the 60th coming, but that's the 60th. It's not a 50th, you know, it's like a half centenary. So I think that really it's always going to struggle. I think it was struggling under Capaldi because people didn't like an older doctor. I can understand that. I disagreed. But I think that would be best to go back to a young male doctor, a good-looking guy, a single companion. Listen to your audience.
Someone that'll keep the blokes happy, but also the girls happy too.
Luke Treadaway, that's my choice. Luke Treadaway. I mean,
I'm sorry, like, did you say about the lads are only interested in the companions because the eye candy? Well, what was David Tennant and Matt Smith? Come on.
Well, you know, you got a lot of lesbians loving, the female companion.
They're trying to make it's just like, you know, yeah, I do agree with you. Peter Capaldi was shafted because he came after Matt Smith, and I do think, from a commercial point of view, it was a bad decision. Because,
well, they brought in Whittaker, and look, you know, even with better writing, I think it was always going to struggle. But I think because the writing is so bad, he's done her a massive disservice, and I really can't see someone of Gillian Anderson's heights to read those scripts and go, yeah, I'll do that. No chance. She will expect a lot better quality than that.
Exactly. And with that said, you're about to run out of time. So do you want to shout out your social medias? And
you can find me on Polo. I'm still on the Twitter naughty step for yet another month. I don't think I've got anything upcoming at the moment, but that could all change. I don't know. Depends on Noel at the moment.
Yeah. That episode of Lower Decks, but I might. Oh, Jesus. Okay.
Yeah, we've got another episode to do now as well because Rabbi sent a link to.
Yeah. So that's 3 weeks to do now. Yeah. Do them all on one stream.
Other than that, you can, if you didn't catch the stream with me and Clobber in Times, we did a Blake 7 stream yesterday. So that's up. If you want to go and check that out, then that's about it at the moment. And a video vault as well. So
yeah, we're going to video vault. Actually, Minority Report. Check it out.
Yeah, on Rabbi's stream. And I'd just like to wish Rabbi a happy New Year for the Jewish New Year. And that's it.
That's it. Yeah. Thank you for coming on. It's been an absolute pleasure having you on.
No worries.
We will talk soon. Obviously, pal, you look after yourself. Enjoy your weekend.
You too. Take care, guys.
See you later. Bye-bye. And there you go, spot on time. Well done. Right, we've got our next guest to bring on, and it's someone that I don't think we've had on before. So without further, so I don't have an intro for them. So without further ado, I'm just going to bring them on, and it's Martin Truman.
Hello there, Noel.
Hello.
So, what my problem is with Doctor Who at the moment is that Chris Chibnall is just a bit of a moron, really. He doesn't know what he's doing at all.
What a
But
joke.
I have a proposition for you, Noel. I think,
What?
in my native language, you should say Chris Chibnall should be fired.
Should I now?
Yes.
What exactly is that? Would you like to enlighten us all?
Okay, repeat after me. You have to say, Amanonse Chris Chibnall.
Yeah, I'm not going to say that.
Subscribe to Sari!
What was that?
It was one of Tardis's friends being a muppet. But as I said, listen, if you want to come on and be a knobhead, that's up to yourself. I will let you embarrass yourself. It just goes, people will see what you are truly like. So well done for that. So we've got another new guest, and let's see what happens with this one. So I hope I'm pronouncing the name right, but I'll give it a go anyway. It's Ranjit Gupta, if I'm pronouncing the name properly. Welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm doing well, Noel. How are you today?
I'm not too bad. So what would you like to talk about?
I'd like to ask you a question. What
Go
are your
ahead.
thoughts on China?
What are my thoughts on China?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not up for discussion tonight. We're actually talking about the rumors about Jodie Whittaker. Would you like to discuss the rumors on Jodie Whittaker?
Yeah, I'm fine with that, sir.
Go ahead. What would you like to say?
Well, firstly, I think you should subscribe to Tardis.
Good man. Thank you for that. Very desperate. Very desperate. Very, very desperate. As I said, it just the reason why I'm leaving them on is so you can actually see how these people actually behave, because I've been accused of all sorts, as you know, on Twitter, and this is the kind of behavior that we get from these people. So yeah, if you want to check out his channel, go ahead and check out his channel. Yeah.
I think it's really interesting.
What's really interesting? Go ahead.
I'm just going to say this. I think it's really interesting that there was this whole truce. We're not going to go after people and everything. And you have upheld your end of the bargain. I actually had to go on several things and talk about the abuse I've personally received on account of what you said, and still see videos and stuff about the moral high ground, yet they stalk your channel to come on and do some nonsense, childlike stuff like that. And I will be the first to admit, you've said some stuff that I don't agree with, and that sometimes you pop off and you're being out of order, and I call you out on that. But the fact that people are going to come on and do that stuff, I think that really shows you, everyone listening, whatever side you're on, who the true bullies in this fandom are.
Yeah, that's why I'm not reacting to this, by the way. A lot of you have said that Noel has patience right now. No, it's nothing to do with patience. I've actually gone past the point of caring of what these people have to say. And the people want to come on every week and do that. That's fine. I will highlight that kind of behavior, because this is the kind of behavior that we've been highlighting. Now, if you want to be that sad and wait in the chat for that long, it just goes to show you that there's definitely something wrong there if you're willing to wait 20 minutes just to go and say that.
Some sort of YouTube violation.
Well, it probably is, but you know what? I don't care. Let them do what they want.
I just want it noted.
Yeah, I know it's because we've got.
Because I know it's gone out too, and I'm just going to say this: that people say you say this stuff to be sensational, to draw attention. And for those of you that have been around a while and know I've popped into chats, and that Noel and I probably have had some heated discussions during his panels or chats or whatever, that I would be the first to absolutely kick the crap out of you. If you are doing this just to be sensationalist for the amount of grief that you and I still get.
I know.
Which is why I can't be on social media.
Yeah.
Because it's nonsensical. So just throwing this out there for all y'all that are listening and wanting to do this little thing. It's embarrassing. It's sad. I feel sorry for you that much of your time is invested.
Yeah.
I really, truly.
I know, but listen, as I said, you know, leave it. It's done. People got to. Yeah, you go back and watch your vampires now, and I'll bring on, because we've got the 2 Garys waiting in the wings. So we'll bring on the 4th Gary, who's been waiting a while, and it's nice to see him back on. So I'll just bring him straight back on. And I want to apologize to everybody for the last 2 people that came on. As you know, I do leave the chat. I'm trying to be as transparent as I can, and to give everybody a chance to talk. And that's even people that don't like me. That's why I've even agreed to go on to a podcast with people that actually don't like me to talk about Doctor Who, because I am trying here to be more civil about it. But as you can see, there's some members out there of Twitter land, troll land, that just don't want to let it go, and they should just let it go. Right. Anyway, here we go. Let's bring on our next guest, because he's been waiting, and it's Gary. Hey, Gary, nice to have you on. It's been a while, pal.
Oh, thank you, Noel. It's always a pleasure to be on. Absolutely love being on. Yeah, it's been a while. Well, most of the time, I just like listening, to be honest. It's interesting just to sit back and listen sometimes, but I thought it'd be nice to come on tonight, if that's okay.
Yeah, fantastic. I'm glad you came on, because I tried to get as many people on as you know. So obviously you've forget about what just happened a few minutes ago, but the news that we'll go back to what we have been talking about, which is the latest rumors. And I just want to know what your initial thoughts are on those new rumors.
Well, for me, to be honest with you, Noel and chat, I wouldn't be happy with it, to be honest. And one of the reasons is I'm a 50-year-old man, and I grew up with Doctor Who in the 70s, and the things that were going on in my life as a child growing up, it was a very emotional time. There was only 3 channels, and Doctor Who was my escape blanket from the age of 4 or 5, the end of John Pertwee, beginning of Tom Baker. That was my comfort blanket. And I'm looking at this as a 50-year-old man, and over the last 30 years, it's not only programs, but it's language in general has changed. Language, and all this is perpetrated by the media, language and people's attitudes and models, and it's all shown through soaps, and it all becomes normalized. And it's happened to Doctor Who. So I still look at Doctor Who. I look at it as a 50-year-old man. I'm old school. I'm no prude by any stretch of the imagination, but I don't need sexual identity or gender politics or anything like that in Doctor Who. We survived for 50 odd years without it, and to me, I find that the conversations about it's becoming repetitive. I'm fed up with questions about the Doctor's companions, the Doctor, the sexual. We wouldn't have dreamt about it with John Pertwee, Tom, Peter Davison, and all the others. Becoming repetitive, and I know this is the era we live in, and we have to respect it and everything else. But to me personally, no, it wouldn't matter what woman took the role. To me, Doctor Who's a white male. He was a white male for 50 odd years. I'm not willing to change. I don't want to change. But as you say, every dog's had its day. Maybe I've had my day, and I've just got to fit in with what everybody else is doing. This generation, the generation of the last 30 years, I've got to fit in with it. I don't like the language. I don't like the attitude, and what it's doing is Noel and crew. It's creating a very me, self-centered society. All the minorities are banging on about their rights, and all this feministic stuff and things like that. It's only career women off the telly. It doesn't affect normal, everyday women who just do 9 to 5 and they're raising kids and paying mortgages, whatever. It's only celebrities who are waffling on, and it's the media, it's the celebrities because they're not happy, and it goes on and on and on, and people are feeding into it. And the best thing to do, to be honest, is just to switch off the telly and enjoy your DVDs, because that's what I do with Doctor Who now. I'm not interested in Jodie Whittaker or the Chris Chibnall era. I don't recognise it. I just stick to my classic DVDs, and I'm as happy as Larry. You know, that makes me happy because I'm not going to be able to change anything. I'm 50. I don't want to change anything. I've got to fit in with it. Every dog's had its day. I've had mine. Let this lot enjoy their era or whatever. But it's just self-centeredness, it's selfishness, and to me, let them get on with it, because if I think about it too much, I end up stressed, and why should I get stressed? That's the way I
Yeah,
look at
so
it.
it looks like you've made the decision until at least Chris Chibnall's era is over. You're not going to, and they go back to a male doctor, you're not going to entertain the idea of watching Doctor Who again unless they go back to those particular things that you've obviously mentioned. Would that be correct in saying, yeah?
That'd be absolutely correct. No, what I would like for me personally, be even, you know, for the 60th, what would be a real great thing for me would be to take it back to be a man, because I think that would draw the audience back, and not another woman, not a celebrity star-made woman, you know, an unknown, a white male with a long velvet frock coat on and a wacky smile, madman in the box. That's all I want. That's all I want.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm the same as you. I believe the doctor should be male. I've said this all along. I think casting a woman, if you are going to cast a woman in the role, Jodie Whittaker definitely wouldn't have been my first choice anyway. You would need someone. I think actress-wise, I think you would need someone of a caliber to take that role. But the experiment has failed. Do you believe the damages? I'll ask you this because you know you're so passionate about it. Do you believe that this show is irreversibly damaged and it can't actually be fixed? Would you go that far?
No. No, I wouldn't go that far. I would think of it as the hiatus, and that long period off, and then they brought it back with that star name, and it worked because Christopher Eccleston was a serious actor. He wasn't a clown or a buffoon. Very a serious actor, very dedicated to the roles that he takes part in. So it absolutely worked because of who he was and his acting and his film credits and TV credits. It absolutely worked because it had that long break. You couldn't do that now within a year or two. You'd have to wait 5, 6, 7, 8 years, 10 years maybe, and bring it back that way. But I think it'd be too soon. And it's no disrespect to Jodie Whittaker already. I've never seen Jodie Whittaker in anything bar Doctor Who. I don't know her from anything else, but just I wish she could just step back, and Chris Chibnall, and reflect. But in my opinion, I just find them narcissistic. No, to be honest, I think they're just in their careers and off.
I actually do believe that they believe that they're doing something great here, and that's the sad thing about it, because they're not. Like Chris Chibnall did say that he doesn't read reviews. That's a lie. Clearly there was evidence of this in Series 12 where he clearly was listening to reviews and didn't like them. But Whittaker needs to listen to them as well. And yes, she mightn't like some of them, but this is the only way that, in my opinion, that she could improve. It's called constructive criticism. Everybody gets it every day of their lives. It happens. Everybody gets criticized. It's a normal thing. It happens. It doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad thing. There is such thing as I said, constructive criticism. And I do believe that she should listen to some of this, because, you know, it's the only way for her to realize that we can tell her why she's not playing the role properly. We're the fans. We've been watching it for long, so we can guide her. And yet that might sound arrogant, but we are the fans. We understand the show. So why not ask the fans why you think your doctor is not doing too well. We'll give you all the advice. Whether you take it on board or not, that's up to her. But I wish she would actually listen to the fans. This is the big major problem I've had with the Chris Chibnall era overall. Series 11, they couldn't stop promoting her. Couldn't stop promoting her. She was everywhere. We were actually all getting sick of it, if you remember. She was everywhere. Series 12, it was dead of night, right? You could hear the crickets outside. Nothing, right? Festive special coming up. Nothing, right? BBC put a TD license ad out there recently. Doctor Who didn't feature one of its biggest IPs. Nothing, right? They're promoting Time Lord Victorious. Now they're the Dalek Universe thing. And now they're doing the Christopher Eccleston. They're promoting all of that. The Doctor Who magazine apparently has a double cover, but she's on the other side. What the hell?
Yeah.
Open your eyes. We've been telling the fans, the Jodie fans, this for 2 years now. It hasn't worked. And if you had a... See, this is the thing. If you had sided with us after Series 11, instead of use our hatred towards everything that we said and actually sided with us, well, then maybe we would have got a even better Series 12. Even better. It was let down by the end, and to be honest with you, it wasn't a great improvement on Series 11. It was better than Series 11, but that's not saying much because Series 11 was so bad. But if they had all they had to do was listen. All you had to do was side with us and say, Chris Chibnall, we demand you write Jodie Whittaker's Doctor better. You demand better from him. That's what you should have done. But now he's defended him. He's defended him. He's defended our Doctor. And it's going to keep getting worse unless he's come out and say so. But we don't know what the future holds. But Gary, I mean,
yep.
You think there's a future if there's a hiatus, which is fine. How long do you think is needed for this fandom to recover and for the show to lose its bad reputation now? Because it does have a bad reputation now, whether they like it or not. It has a bad reputation now. 7 million people tuned out. 7 million households, tuned out. So that says a lot. How long do you think it's going to take for, fans to get excited all over again for Doctor Who? How long do you think it needs?
I think now, if they do it right, they can pull all the stops out for the 60th. They can surprise us for the 60th. That's what I think. But if there wasn't a 60th, I think, gosh, I don't know. No, I have no idea. I'd say the longest I'd go was 10. I wouldn't wait 15 years. 10 years maybe maximum. Only because I'm getting older as well, There'll always be but the sad thing is, when towards the end of Peter Capaldi's run, I don't want to say too much because you'd have to do your research, but Stephen Moffat in his interviews for the magazine, you find out that his style of writing changed and he was greatly influenced by his wife. But I'm saying no more. You have to do your own research. Anyway, that crept in and everything. But the problem with that was then you could see there was a detachment coming in. And when Jodie Whittaker and Chris Chibnall came in, they were very cold and detached. There was no warmth or song or dance or party atmosphere. I mean, I loved Matt Smith's introduction. I loved Peter Capaldi's introduction. This one, very cold, very detached, no common sense. If I was an actor and I'd just started out and someone spotted me in the theatre and decided to make me Doctor Who, first thing I'd do, especially if I didn't know anything about, much about it, I'd do my research. Common sense for all the other doctors. Look, the man is blah, 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 blah. But she's had none of that. Been totally dismissive of it. And no, we could have this conversation for 7 or 8. You could do an 8-hour stream. I can't cram it all in now because you've got other guests.
I know. We've spoken about this. We've been speaking about this kind of thing for 2 years. And isn't it funny that you are right? It does get a bit repetitive. And you are right. It does, even for me. But the thing about it is, isn't it funny that it's still the same problems, though, from 2 years ago? We're still talking about the same problems. Chris Chibnall himself or Jodie Whittaker haven't rectified those problems. And that's why you know, it's still very relevant because obviously they're not. And as I said, this special is coming up. It's rumored that it actually might drop Christmas. We're actually running out of time, but because I was talking, I'm going to give you an extra 2 minutes, right? But
Yeah.
I just wanted to ask you about the special.
Yeah.
Christmas
I'll
or
be
New
honest.
Year's Day for you personally. For me, I'd like it to go on Christmas for the simple fact is if it goes on Christmas, people will see how bad it actually is, right? But then I'm kind of thinking, well, everybody's going to be at home. We don't know what the state the countries are going to be in. We could be all in lockdown and there's nothing on TV and they might bleed and all tune into Doctor Who. What would you rather, Christmas, or would you rather stay the way Chibnall has it New Year's Day and not have Christmas tainted with his era?
Well, to be honest with you, Noel, I always loved Doctor Who Christmas Day with a nice glass of wine watching Doctor Who, and I think they've spoiled that. I'd rather watch it Christmas Day, to be honest. But there was something I was going to say about Evolution of the Daleks now. It's totally gone off my head. I apologise because I'm tired. But I think we'll all tune in. It's human nature. I know a lot of us have said, oh, we won't watch it, we won't watch it, we won't watch it. But I'll guarantee you, human nature, I'll be honest with you now, I will be watching it. It's Doctor Who.
I don't know. Do you know what? This is the first time I can honestly say I won't know until the day. I actually won't know whether I will put myself through that torture until the day actually comes, Gary, believe it or not. I am so adamant that I don't want to support this because it's not going to. If I thought there was going to be an improvement, but it'd have to be a massive one at this stage. If I thought there was, you know, I would tune in, but I don't think so. And I think there's just, as Daniel said at the very, very start, it just, everything reeks of desperation right now at the moment. And, you know, when they get desperate like that, they start making wrong choices, as you know, Gary, and that's when it starts going into the realms of total stupidity then.
It could also be make or break for it as well, though. I don't know. You know, the Christmas ratings or the New Year Day ratings. They're going to be looking at that. They're going to be looking at that very closely, surely.
That's it. Right, listen, Gary, we're about to run out of time. Have you got any social medias or stuff you want to shout out there, pal, before you leave?
No, I'm happy to support you guys. Thank you very much. Cheers, buddy.
Thanks very much. Listen, Gary, it's a pleasure. Don't leave it too long. So we do this every Friday. So we won't be talking about this every Friday, right? We do other stuff as well. Last week we spoke about the Star Wars stuff that was going on and other stuff like that. So we will be doing other stuff. It won't be just exclusively Doctor Who. It just was this week because of obviously the news that dropped and the way the Fandom is going on. But listen, it's been a pleasure having you on, and thanks for popping on. I really appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Good night. God bless.
I'll see you later. Bye-bye. And I see Chris has actually put the link back in the chat there. I will put it in again. We'll be finishing up in about, I could take another one guest after this guest, and then we'll call it a night. If we do get someone acting the maggot, of course, I will try again until we get someone on that actually wants to talk. So here is the link again. So if you want to pop on and give your 2 cents. So we're talking about the latest rumors that Jodie Whittaker is rumored to be replaced by Gillian Anderson. The format might be a one-off short series or a series of specials. And also we've been just talking about listen, conversations morph because we're getting into the conversations get very interesting and everybody has a lot to say, and there's so many different facets to all of this, you know. I mean, with the current situation that we're in and stuff, and you know, nobody knowing what's going on with Series 13. Is it going into production? Is it not going into production? Is Jodie Whittaker regenerating Christmas? Is she staying? Is she staying Series 13, 14, 15? Is she leaving after Series 13? Nobody knows. And this is the most Listen, people will say, "Oh, you do this to trigger people." I don't do this. Cheryl's already explained. Listen, she'd be the first one to call me out, right? Okay, I show her everything I get. All right, because that's the kind of marriage we have. Very open. I've been very honest with Cheryl when it comes to the where I get my information from. She knows.
I'm also very honest when I disagree.
Yeah, and if she disagrees, some of you have even heard her on this channel have called me out. So pop me up, as she says, pop off in front of everybody. No better woman. That's why I married her. Right, that's why she married me. She probably needed to fix a broken man, maybe. I don't know, but we're both broken, so that kind of negated that. Yeah, that's a bit done. Right, but let's bring him on because he's been waiting a while, and I'm delighted he's here with us on this Friday night. It's the one and the only, the man with the facts when we do the classic Who watch-alongs, and has recently come back doing them with us. Yes, it is. It's Retro Doc himself, Barry Yeagers. Yay!
Hey, Noel and Cheryl, how are you?
We're good.
Gary?
Oh,
I
Cheryl.
heard Cheryl before talking about nonsense and childish callers, and I figured that was my cue to call in.
It was. Do you have any dad jokes?
Actually, not today.
Oh.
How dare you stereotype me, Cheryl?
Well, it's nice to have you here. Well, obviously, is there something you want to actually talk about first?
Well, I don't know. I mean, some of the things, this has been, even with the Gillian Anderson thing going on this week, this has been kind of a slow, I think we're just, for the next couple months, 3 months, news-wise, I think it's just going to be really, really slow. As far as the Gillian Anderson thing goes, I mean, I have to kind of echo what some of the previous callers said. There's just no way. This smacks to me of, somebody somewhere, either online or BBC somewhere, going, "Oh, wouldn't it be great if we got," and somehow that morphed through the wonders of the internet into, a distinct possibility. But there's no way. I mean, look, she's a prestige actress. She moves from high profile show to high profile show, like The Fall, like I mean, for goodness sakes, she's about to play Margaret Thatcher in The Crown. There is no way that even if she was interested for a second, if she popped on a DVD of any episode from the last 2 seasons, I want to see, here's something, I want to see her agent, not knowing the difference, give her a DVD of Orphan 55 and say, "Here, Jillian, so what do you think about doing this show?" And I want to see her reaction.
I would love to see that reaction, actually. And then say, "This is what the show used to be, and this is what the show is now." So
the thing about it is, she's not going to take, she's a high profile, very successful. First of all, I mean, the fact that she is, I mean, I actually had to check, because at first I thought, "Oh, wait, she's American, isn't she?" But then I went on Wikipedia and found out that she's, American, British citizen. So, but even with that, I can't imagine that they would be, it would be breaking tradition to kind of go for an actor, actress, whatever, that's not completely British. But even putting that aside, the unfortunately, and Noel, that I don't say this with any kind of happiness, that right now the brand is just too damaged at the moment. There's no real upside for her to doing it, because especially if Chibnall's attached, because there is just no way that and even if she did take it, even after the first meeting, with him, I think she'd be like, "Okay, gotta go." There's just no way that he would convince her that he would do a job that would be, worthy of her, worthy of the show, no matter how much begging and pleading the BBC would do. And there's no way that they're going to do kind of like a TV movie-esque one shot. I think if the BBC wants to rehabilitate this show, they're going to have to be thinking long-term and kind of move past whatever kind of, week-long or month-long hype that having her in for one episode would do. I don't think it, I mean, look, here's my suggestion. If the BBC is so dead set, and BBC, if you're listening, write this down and make some calls. If the BBC is so set on, and you know what, Noel, I say that proudly because, the BBC might be listening. You have a high profile show, it's been around for a while.
Because someone put in Matthew Pounder, he's a legend on Ownwell. He goes, can she do the scrunch face? So if Gillian Anderson can't do the scrunch face, he does.
Yeah. I want to see Gillian Anderson when Chibnall proudly hands her the Dr. Sonic.
Yeah.
And she's going to go, what the hell is this?
Yeah, she'll have
and probably slap him with a harassment suit just for that.
Yeah.
But I mean, look, if BBC, if you're listening, if you're so dead set on casting an actress named Anderson in the role, then you know what? I'd rather have Pamela Anderson in the role than Gillian Anderson. She's only 1 year older than Gillian Anderson, and you know what? I'd tune in.
Yeah, and her costume could be her Baywatch costume.
Oh yeah, and you know what? And you have the Doctor be instead of imagine this, Noel. How much better would this have been? Close your eyes and picture this in Spyfall, as Jodie is wonkily running to the airplane, which proved to the world that she could not run or even do a fast walk. Close your eyes, remove her mentally from the scene, and picture Pamela Anderson or Baywatch doing the slow motion run after the plane. All of a sudden, that show now is transformed. If you do that. So, I hope that's convinced you that that's like a workable idea.
Oh, God.
And this is why Gary's a legend.
Oh, and the Tardis will have airbags, says Matthew Pounder.
No, she goes into the TARDIS and there's sand all over the place inside the TARDIS. That would be great.
That is.
And then we can get maybe David Hasselhoff to play the Master. I'd rather even see that.
Yeah. But all joking aside, though.
What do you mean joking? You know what? And if Lonnie Anderson can't do it, and they want to do an Anderson, I'd rather. I'll even take Lonnie Anderson. She's like over 70. She's over 70, but I'd rather have her than Jodie.
Yeah, I was just going to say though, all joking aside, if I was a betting man, and I said this at the start of the stream because, as I said, I've reported on everybody's news. I don't just report on my own. I've reported on other streamers that have actually spoke about their news and Reddit, but post on Reddit as well, and there was other stuff as well. You've all seen. I've thrown it up on the channel. But all joking aside, though, I would say that if Gillian Anderson has been approached, and even though people are reporting it, they have reported it as rumor and speculation. But if we were to put our thinking caps on like we do, because even though we get information, we still do have our own theories, So my theory would be this. If she has been approached by Chris Chibnall, well, then I wouldn't say it is for the role of the Doctor, because as Gary has mentioned, she's appeared in all of these things. Now, even though The Crown, as far as I know, she's already finished filming that. I think so. That wouldn't be in the way. But in saying that, if you're asking me, I'd say it'd be a one-off appearance or maybe a couple of appearances within the main show as a villain. That's where I see her working, as a villain.
And there's only one villain who's let's say it now because it's been dragging around for 30 years. The Ronnie.
Yeah,
which could work. You're right. It could work.
And so did Charlotte. I think Charlotte mentioned it as well. Charlotte and Daniel mentioned it at the very start. I agree. That would make logical sense.
It'd be hilarious for Scully.
Yeah, I know. But as I said, you know, the people putting out that information have said it's just a rumor and speculation. To call people, as some of the Jodie Whittaker fans have, to call people liars for putting out that information is disingenuous, as nobody knows until BBC make of it. And I keep saying it, and I will keep saying it until BBC comes out with something. All of this that's going on right now is not going to stop. It stops when BBC come out and they outline what's going to happen with the show, what's going to happen with Whittaker, how long the show is going to go on for, because we're in its uncertain times. Gary, if you were a betting man, when could you see Doctor Who logically start filming again?
Oh, well, I think as we were talking about, you know, last Saturday during the Demons post show, I think that it's all going to depend on if you guys go into a second lockdown. If you guys go into a second lockdown, it's over. All this is academic, what we're talking about. If it doesn't, and hopefully the UK rebounds, kind of like the US has been really rebounding over the last you know, couple months, to where not only the, you know, the curve is flattened but going down. I think it could be, I don't know. I mean, you know, weren't there like two strictures? Like Wales has certain filming restrictions, and then the rest of the Britain has, isn't Wales like on a different way that they film or whatever? I think, you know, I maybe like the end of next year, maybe, or the beginning of 2022. I think you guys, I mean, it'll probably be they'll want to do it, you know, because they're going to have to get all the scripts done and they're going to have to get everybody lined up.
Yeah, well, according to Chibnall, he has been working on scripts during lockdown.
Oh, well, did he get a new set of crayons?
I don't know. He probably did, and maybe some spectacles as well, because he needs to see what he's writing, because he clearly isn't watching what he's writing. But here's another thing as well. Bit of interesting news in Wales. Granada Studios, I think it is. If Lee is still in the chat, maybe he could tell me. But they're filming War of the Worlds in Wales. So they're already filming in Wales, not BBC. It's a different production company, but they are filming. So clearly, Wales has eased restrictions enough that they've allowed some filming to happen. So the question would be as well, why hasn't Doctor Who, when, you know, as we all know, the head of BBC Wales said that a few months back, by the way, which everybody seems to forget, that said under the current.
Well, Noel, you yourself have speculated for months that they're going to use this whole, you know, beer bug thing as the excuse that gets them out of having to admit they made a mistake. They're going to, you know, it'll save face. It'll allow them to shift the responsibility, you know, onto, well, it wasn't us. We really wanted to, but ... And I mean, you've mentioned that for I don't know how long, and I actually think that's a very valid point, especially since, you know, this report to you know, Davey is coming up at some point where they present to him basically the state of the show, and that I mean, I don't think we can discount the impact that's going to have.
Exactly, and it's Canal Studios. They are filming War of the Worlds Season 2 since July in Wales. So again, you know, putting all these little things together, and again, this is just me speculating, putting stuff together. But if you look at the TV license ad, as I said, doesn't include Doctor Who, and then you see them filming another studio filming in Wales, then you have to ask yourself the question why there hasn't been any sort of movement got to do with Doctor Who. And BBC Studios, our press office, every morning has some press release about either a new show or an old show that had stopped filming is starting to film again. So,
well, let me ask you something, Noel. I missed a lot of Charlotte's call, so I don't know if you both discussed this. On the one hand, I mean, even though the BBC, yes, wants to have their own agenda and they want to make their woke points and everything, and they're going to hold on to that, to their last dying breath. Even so, starting up productions will demand them, allocating a season's worth of budget to a show just so they can save themselves some embarrassment and make some agenda points. So the question becomes, do they feel that it's worth the price of an entire budget for an entire season of this show to save themselves some embarrassment and to keep putting forth the agenda? That's why I think that all these delays, especially, when Davey, has ordered this, overall report, and maybe we don't know. Maybe somebody said, look, we're not going to go forward until this report comes out and until we see that maybe they're saying, we are not going to sink an entire season's worth of budget into this. Even though it serves us one purpose, we are not about to sink, especially when you have Davey kind of in there, kind of, making his moves and everything. He's probably saying, look, we're not going to spend how many millions or whatever pounds, on this show, for this damaged product. Maybe that's a situation. And we're talking earlier, Noel, about, the Christmas special. And think about it. In the article that I think there was one of the one you posted up this week about the, will it be on Christmas? Maybe.
Yeah.
Even look at the way they even kind of couch it in that story you posted, because they're basically admitting, look, if the show comes up on Christmas, it's basically because we don't have anything else new. The dancing show apparently is like a best of. We don't have an entire week's worth or even night's worth of debut programming, to publicize. So think about it. A show that at one point, would have been like one of the highlights of the Christmas season or the Christmas night. Now they're basically admitting, well, it'll be on Christmas, but only because we just don't literally have anything else.
Yeah.
I mean, that's in effect what they're saying.
Yeah, true. And it's, I never actually thought of that. They could be forced to actually put it on. But it is worth noting, actually, next month is when we do get the autumn schedule for BBC. So we will have some indication then whether...
Oh, I thought I read not to interrupt you. I thought I read in your article, because I always read the articles, as you put them up, with the music, is that, didn't they say that they don't lock down their Christmas week or Christmas night schedule till November?
Yeah, but they release it the 8th, right? But then you take it kind of with a pinch of salt. It's a kind of it's what they believe, it's predicted.
Oh, okay.
It's the TV. It's not the BBC. It's the people behind the newspaper. They come out with their predicted on what might be shown, and then basically over the next few weeks, then BBC, ITV, Channel 4, all those stations then start filling in the gaps for them. And then you're right, November then is when you'll find out for definite if Doctor Who is going to be aired Christmas. But if it is in the 8th of October one, which will be released, then there's a strong possibility that it will be shown on Christmas Day. How do you feel? No, even though you have said it'd probably be a bit defeatist, and we'll finish up on this point, but if they are doing this out of desperation, right, and they do stick it on Christmas Day, how do you feel it's gonna go? Because,
well, if you look at the trend of the last two seasons, even with the specials, every season, including the special, has pretty much started where they left off the previous season. So, for example, season 12 started because I remember the prediction shows, because everybody was predicting, well, it's going to be like so much higher season 12, it's going to start higher. It basically has always started right where the last one ended off. They didn't add viewers, when it came back.
Yeah.
So I'm predicting that at the most it's going to be, where did the Abomination end up? Where was that? What were the ratings for that? I would think at least, I'll say at least 2 to 2.5 million lower than whatever the Abomination numbers were.
Well, the overnights were just under 4 million. It was 3.7.
Okay, so I'll say 2.
So in the overnight, then the 28-day consolidated figures, it got gains, but just over 4 million people. It's still dire, like it is.
I'll say 2 then.
So see, they use the 28-day consolidated figure as a bit of a buffer. But the problem with that is if you actually go up through the 28-day consolidated figure, you will see a drop as well. It doesn't matter what the last consolidated figure was for the last episode or the last story. This is the point that we've been trying to make to you. It's been a constant slide. It doesn't matter if the last episode managed to reach 4 million on its special lowest rating, by the way, since the late 80s. So if that's something to be celebrating, that's fine. Keep celebrating it. But this show is on its last legs.
Well, here's an additional thing, Noel, to kind of throw into the mix that makes this upcoming app, I think, where it's like in uncharted territory. We haven't had any. This will be the first episode where we are really going to be able to judge in terms of viewership the impact of Timeless Children.
Yeah.
Because for such a polarizing show, for a show that drove away so many fans from one week to the next, from the show that basically, the first part on BBC America to the second part, the numbers in 1 week fell 28%. So I think we're totally in uncharted territory to predict, well, it's a Christmas show, so it'll do this. Yeah, but you have to factor in that X factor of how pissed off were, the fans, the public, and just said, drew the line, said, that's it, no more. I mean, that's like an X factor that is going to, who knows how that's going to impact these numbers.
Well, we will find out soon enough, because either way, the special is coming. It's getting closer and closer. And don't forget, actually, we will be covering Jodie Whittaker, Mandeep Gill, and Bradley Walsh's appearance at New York.
Oh, yeah. No, hey, I wanted to ask you, how many trucks of money do you think they had to back up to Bradley Walsh's house to convince him to appear on this thing?
I say they handed him a nice, generous check with an apology letter to apologize for allowing him to be in this. Do you know, I feel sorry for him and Tolson Cole, and I feel sorry for any of the guest stars that had to appear in this show over the last 2 years. They've all deserved better, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah.
But look.
But here's the thing, Nolan. I know we got to go, but the one thing when I first heard that Bradley Walsh was appearing, my first thought was, okay, they realized they were getting zero traction on this publicity-wise with just Jodie and Mandeep Gill. They had to do something else. So they added Bradley Walsh, who was the actor that, as you just said, everybody likes, even in the dire season 11. And I thought, if they were just waiting on him to confirm, why didn't they wait then at the beginning and announce all three of them together? I think it's very telling that they tried to make this big deal that they were going to be appearing just the two of them, and then all of a sudden, a couple weeks later, they make a big deal. Oh, also, we have Bradley Walsh. I think it's just because nobody cared at all when it was just Jodie and Mandeep.
It wasn't, because the announcement was made. The only people that were actually excited were a few on Twitter and a few on, but other than that, it actually died down after that. It was like, okay, the announcement's being made. We talked about it for about a day or two, and that was it. You know, nobody's really added on to the like, you know, you don't see the excitement that there would be for previous panels with previous doctors when they're announced. There's none of that going on, and that's great telling as well.
I think the only way that they're going to get sky high numbers for this thing is if they announce that during the stream, it's going to be a live stream of Chris Chibnall attempting a tightrope walk over a lake of sharks. That would be about the only thing that might get people to tune in.
Or as some people have said, and again, I'm not saying that this is what's going to happen. This is just me speculating. Or they could do all the fans a favor and actually give us the announcement that we really want during this Comic-Con, and then the fandom can move on. Yeah, there'll be a few people that'll kick and scream, but remember, they're a vocal minority. They're not all the fandom. They're not the British that have walked away. So if BBC start thinking of the terms of the casual fan, the general public, and also trying to win back the fans that they have basically pissed off for the last 3 years, then they might get somewhere. And with that, Gary, we've ran out of time. But look at
okay. Can I do a plug?
Of course you can. Yeah, I was going to let you do that.
Okay, let me see. I tried to think of something, so I thought. Well, let me see. Tonight from about 5 to 5:30, I'll be appearing at the Ralph's grocery store for my weekly trip. People can say hi to me there. Right after that, I'll be at the Kentucky Fried Chicken drive-thru right after, so you can give me a wave. Seriously though, tomorrow morning, my time, but about 4 o'clock UK time, I'll be on Blue Bonnet's Blue Bonnet Hoovian's channel. We're starting a series on, or she's starting a series, I should say, on the writers of Classic Who. Every week it's like focusing on a different writer, and tomorrow we're going to start off with Malcolm Hulke, who was one of the best classic series writer and who wrote some of the best Pertwee stories. So I think that's going to be about 4 o'clock your time, so tune in for that. And then in a couple weeks I'll be back, no doubt, with you when you resume the classic watch-alongs.
Yeah, can't wait for them to start back. Actually, I'm actually going to miss them this weekend, but yeah, I think the break, it was a nice time anyway. Actually, to be honest, I think I just hope we don't lose momentum on them. But I doubt it very much.
We won't. Don't worry about that.
Right, but listen, Gary, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on. Thanks for coming on, pal.
All right, goodbye. Bye to Noel. Bye to Cheryl. Bye to Ted. And BBC, I just got think Lonnie Anderson. That's all I got to say, BBC.
Thank you, Gary. Oh, that's absolutely fantastic. Oh, he's a legend. He is an absolute legend. Yes, he is. Right, so that is it for tonight. That is the Tardis Zone Talks. Again, I would like to apologize for the two people that did come on, but I will stress that this is I'm trying to be open. No, we don't need to add any more to it. All I just want to say is this, right? Is that I'm trying to leave this, get different people's voices on. And if you're willing to come on without being an idiot, then you're more than welcome to come on and talk about the stuff that we're discussing. So I do want to apologize. I know you are saying it's not my fault. There is no way to kind of vet people when you're bringing them on, unfortunately, on this format anyway. So it is a bit of a risk when you do. But if you do want to follow that channel that they felt so desperate to call out, you do know where that person is. You can go and check them out. You can check out all my guests as well as usual. Every single one of them, fantastic. And to everybody in the chat that also contributed and left a comment, thank you. And thank you for all your support. Chris, Daniel, and all my other moderators, thank you as well. I really appreciate it. And that is it. I will talk to you tomorrow. Don't know what we're quite doing tomorrow, but I'll think of something. But we will do something. Might do one of the animations or something, the Doctor Who, because because we do the normal stories and not many people have the animations. So maybe I could just speak about one of the animations that I'm talking about. Maybe rope in a couple of guests if they have the same animation as well. I will talk about tomorrow. When I get up tomorrow, I will text people and see what animations they have. Or if you want to text me, anybody that joins me on the panel, if you have any of the animations, let me know what animations you have, and then we might pick one and we'll watch one tomorrow. Sorry about that. Cheryl's just connecting the speakers back up. She couldn't wait 2 minutes.
I couldn't. I was excited.
She's excited. I don't know what you're excited for. Yeah, it's not like just doing my gloom in Dublin today. Yeah, we're back in.
No, we have 2 more hours of freedom.
2 more hours of freedom, then we're locked back up again. Right, I'm going to leave it at that. Listen, enjoy your weekend, stay safe, and remember, everything discussed on this channel about the rumors and about the information that's out there is all rumor and speculation, and anything that we add is our opinions on the subject. So I wish people out there would stop being offended by it and just wait until there is official stuff put out there. I will see you. Have a great weekend. Stay safe, and I'll talk to you all very, very soon. Oh, before I go, forgot to add, don't forget to head over to Gary's channel. I don't know if Friday Night Tights is actually going ahead, but I'm assuming it is. Don't forget to check out Gary on Friday Night Tights. Good night, folks. Enjoy your weekend.